104.3 a Peace FM, 101.7 a OK, 100.9 NEAT. Yemiensa ewo Ship House, Abeka Junction and Crying. Kumase hello 101.5 ewo Despite Abrosino Eso. Yemamunyina akwaba premo ato. Omemu nsem ebre aso eno. And ye de esomo se kase asida e o ma yemfama enwekuo bi ti se
special ice mineral water me patro ya abojunsuo mesre wada opensuo krogina nomu a wo haw bia ni wa kwa fabre wanumsuo papa eno a any special ice mineral water me patro so wadofo ne besra wa ya momo special ice wate na ebasa wo mo kwa wo mu ja wo kwan a se nya asem ketwa mesra wo se wo sika sem enkoyie wo ya ban dwuma eni wo hia besia bi ade adada wo ho ohia sika bi na o business bi a wo be hyase no watimi atoto ni yie dia mesrew for ni kiremu e wo best point savings and loans okwa so we abanjuma eni ya wo de wo ho ankrankra won so de wo ho omo beboa mo sika sam agya nan so e de amount this way chocolate drink de won hia eni ensuo hie wo mo onya bi no no ma betimi aboa ma no paw sorry a e ba sa na hom ke kan kwa wo de ye adwuma no ya na e danso nti de biara da num this way chocolate drink we ni aboa fo mbo e chidom na nsem a edi kasienum akotini bi ene
Omampanyi John Dramani Mahama edi atu dwase tamale eni yendi wo munsuo ho nsem no mpanyifo 821 na mo enche ombenya ensupa anom
Ghana Mampanyi John Dramani Mahama so akasa se enche kra wo wudi wani echiremu e wo Tamale Teaching Hospital a wo mo e ba besi asweye bi e beboa na akomayade ho nyina ya hwe aka ho asem e wo ho
climate change wiem bobre ne tebia edi adane na edi nsunsuanso ahoro enam no Ghana yebetu mu anamo nti ye pechitaye ewo amansan enchen
Oxford African Conference 2026 koso na yehwe nim se Ghana Mampanyi abedi echire Professor Jena na opoku agema beko kopie ase wei ene nsenkaya hodo a ye de besom enawie se Peace FM prem to brekase akenkanfo obeti enka enawie midin mame akosia etonamene
Obayima efiachire yen ene de ensem no eba yentie kase no enhyemu Omampanyi John Dramani Mahama edi atu dwase naban no hyase Edin hihye bi egu akwam nti enche tamale ene yendi omanfo nsu a enwasem aye den na omunya bi ennom po na campus wanya bi adi dwuma no ne nyina eto ebetwa enti wo bekat wani atie nie nsu ho nsam ebe ye kama e watifi do mantam no emo na dwumadi ahoro mpanyifo ebe hyehye so no omampanyi si tamale mpotamu ene mpotamu twa wo hye nyina enkuro nketenkete wo nsu ho nsam no ebe dane ama edi ahoto abrewo mo omampanyi ko aprobo e watifi do mantam no emunsem eno di etu edwai na wokasa na wochim se sa dwumadi a wokasa ebe hyase no wo hyase kra akade omde bedu dwumani nyina wo hwe na wo hyase atoto wo gidie mapase edin sakration ko eba mantam no emu ni titu ene wo munsuo ho ensem na aboa nsoso amomanfo yendi wo manya pumping station foforo kra a wo betumi di wo mo ato ensupa so ebre bia wo chese dwumadi a wo mo de ebe hyehye sue no ebe boa ma se pressure bi ewo ensuo ni pipe nkaya na nke dada so a eyi ni nyina ede afio ama omanfo no na wonkom atumi aharompa omampanyi si wenyina eka anamo a wotuo na naban na ahwe se omanfo mo nsuo ho ha ni tichiu e watifidu mantem obeso ano no eho.
Two other important projects were about to start. We are moving to the procurement stage. Is a Tamale water system and the Yendi water system. With the Tamale water system, the intention is to build a new pumping station at Yape on the White Volta and produce about 30 million gallons of water for the Tamale metropolis. Yendi would also have a new pumping station on the River Daka to produce fresh water for Yendi. There are other small town water systems that are going to happen that I cannot mention all of them. So we're working under the Feed Ghana program also and the broader agricultural transformation strategy to scale up support for farmers through mechanization services, irrigation expansion, improved seed distribution, and aggregation systems to support commercial agriculture.
Omampanyi John Dramani Mahama ono ena yetini ken salamat ku kwa pencil ena de amaneboyi ebai.
John Dramani Mahama so akasa se na ban no edin tutuye egu akwam se de be ya wode wani echire mu e Tamale Teaching Hospital a won betimi anya cardiology center ye ba be hwe akoma yade ho hawo nyina ebeboa ama northern regions akodo ba ko enum no won so anya baabi asa won ho yade empo so obi nya akoma yade a eno na Ghana man panyi e ka se ye mpempi ndodo no anya akoma yade a wa makuma se wo beba nkran eno nyina akwakoye eka eno susu nipa ne tu anamotenti abokodu okra nyame amfa fie kra na se ne nkwa ye firi ni nsem adada ne sa eti na ban no se sa hawo no won hwe ma ne ntena wonto no edin hihye egu akwam na Ghana man panyi di sansam wetudwa ebra na mantivido mantem na namatan konwa ebesra no awa bankesie mu ena odi sansam we etu edwa.
We also, as Your Royal Highness mentioned, are building a new cardio center in the Tamale Teaching Hospital. In the whole of the 5 northern regions, there is no cardio center. And so any persons who had strokes or heart attacks or any cardiac incidents had to either come to Kumasi or Accra for treatment at great cost to themselves and their family. And so we're citing a new cardio center in Tamale so that it will serve the entire 5 northern regions for people who have cardiovascular diseases.
Ghana man panyi John Dramani Mahama anayete ne nka yenua Salamat Kuku apento na de nsem yi ebesom yen.
Chief Director Oda Asweye hwe oboade ne pa body mu nyansape ene infididwuma ho nsem so anno eyesuwe batu Adam na wodi atu dwa se Ghana yeni abre ye preko yenim se betumi etutu ya namo asiye se oman na ya hwede nhihye mapa egu akwamu a ewiem bobre ne netibia climate change a enya nsunsanso ewo yenso no ye betumi agina yie ebra ede ne hawa horo eba na ekoba ne sanso no so beboa yen ama chese 2025 jumedie sunku bi ye Paris Agreement nationally determined contributions no yenso yetumi ede ho ahyem atutu anamo na yegyina ye nan so nti yetonsa ne yetuhu ede afra mansan so meso ye mu na dwumadie no yentumi enhwe ema enye krabehwe na wo hwe se dwumadie ampanyifo de gu akwan mu na se Ghana yetumi de hu jim eye etenanwe a ebeboa am yetumpon ewo ya ho odenie energy ensem emo ya kwantu ho nsem omanisi kasem ekwan befa so ebekrakra ye mbola ene eniema kan nyina na etumi aboa yen enu emo no na Chief Director so Batu Adam edi to dwase se ebetumi ayeni ayeni nso a yen ha eni kwa no sika bese $19.8 billion ene ye hwe kwan se ye de behyem na ebekwa kowia se ebebie nnwuma amanfo apombude nsenka ebetumi akoyie enuane bebuso na bambo ho nsem agina ne nan so.
The framework spans the period 2025 to 2035 and is structured around 5 interconnected strategic pillars. The first pillar is a comprehensive national energy transition. And in aggregate, Ghana's 2025 NDC framework requires a consolidated investment of approximately 53.3 billion, equivalent to approximately 19.8 billion USD in a year's investments. This is not a burden. It is an investment prospectus. It's a blueprint, hundreds of thousands of green jobs, enhanced public health, food and water security, and competitive decarbonized industrial base.
Head of Environment and Climate at United Nations Development Program, Dr. Abdulrazak Said Ekasa Ujumediana say, and workers a young bobren in Tibia, Edin Sacration and Nam, climate change once my yeke. See, I'm pam once man capasa or mine, nay and share in Sunso de Bay and soon a year dia. A nipa besa of a pin back home ye Ghana for, and a fit 2050 en no, na edi oyebubro, abom so.
UNDP together with the UN in Ghana under the Climate Promise umbrella remains pleased to support the ministry and to work in close collaboration with all key stakeholders to strengthen Ghana's climate commitments and implementation efforts. Climate change continues to pose significant risk to Ghana's development trajectory. It is already affecting agriculture where yields are declining in a largely rain-fed system, and climate variability is driving food insecurity and income loss. It is damaging to infrastructure and leading to loss of livelihoods through floods and rising sea level, with coastal waters projected to rise up to 0.7 meters, threatening communities and assets. Without urgent action, climate shocks could push at least 1 million additional people into poverty by 2050 and reduce incomes among the poorest by up to 40%.
Head Head of Environment and Climate, United Nations Development Program, Dr. Abdul Razak Said Ono, Ena Yatin Kane, Prince Bafo Asamoah, and the Amadibui Enam.
Oxford African Conference 2026 baso die mu ɔden kra na ahyase ne sa na yɛhwɛ anim sɛ Ghana mampanyi abedi ekyiri ɔbenfo na opoku agyeman bɛkɔ pie mu wɔ dwumadie no ase na yɛhwɛ sɛ wɔbɛkasa wɔ Oxford African Conference ya ɛbɛbeba so na wei yɛ dwumadie bi a Oxford University African Society ya wɔn wɔ University of Oxford wɔn na wɔn de saa dwumadie de ahyehyɛ so na yɛhwɛ anim sɛ ene nyame adom ɔkyena ene dwumadie no ɛkɔ na ɛkɔ no ɛno ɛnenam so ma wɔn a waben ɛwɔ abibire mu aman ahodoɔ ne titiri wɔn a wɔwɔ nimdeɛ ɛfa nnwuma ahodoɔ emu wɔn a wɔhyɛ mmra ɛfa ntutuye a ebetimi aboa ma afoforo anya ho fasoɔ wɔn a maben ɛwɔ businesses mu nnwuma ahodoɔ mu wɔn so a waben a wɔde nsatrae ɛba asoasoe ahodoɔ ne nyinaa ɛnso ɛbepie mu ɛwɔ dwumadie no ase na wɔhwɛ Oxford African Conference ya eba so no a wɔn ɛhwɛ ɛkwan a abibire mu aman mpanyifo ɛne asoe a yɛwɔ ɛwɔ abibire mu no sɛ ɔhaw bi ɛbɛtɔ yɛ anasa atoyɛ nkyɛn bi ɛbɛtɔ yɛ kwan bɛn so ne yɛfa so ɛso a no ntitiriw ɛwɔ abɛɛfo kwan so ɛna bibi te sɛ wiem nsakyerɛyɛ ɛkwan a yɛde amanyɔsɛm ɛboa ma ɔboadeɛ nipa a wɔde adom yɛn yɛtimi ahwɛ so yie ɛna fe kwan bɛn so ɛne yɛde nsakyerɛyɛ ɛba na ɛna mienu dwumadie yi ɛyɛ dwumadie sonko a wɔn ɛhwɛ sɛ wɔn yɛ bibi te panel discussions ɛna afei fireside chat networking sessions so bɛkɔ so policy dialogue ni nyinaa ɛbɛkɔ so a ebetimi aboa ma wɔn de hyehyɛ agu akwa mu na abibire mu aman yɛn nso so yɛtimi anya nsoano ɛde ama yɛ haw ahodoɔ ano na ɛno ɛne yɛhwɛ anim sɛ Professor Jena no Opoku Agyeman bɛkɔ pie mu dwumadie no ase wɔn ɛbɛkasa ɛde afa kwan a Ghana yɛkabi mamuo no esi ɛkɔ nyɛ no nko a kwan a yɛfa so na for your development agenda no yɛhyɛ mu kena mabunu kwan bɛn so ne yɛboa mabunu enwomasua ensɛm so ɔbɛkasa de afa ho kwan bɛn so ne yɛboa mampanyidie ɛkɔ nkan na nnwuma ahodoɔ nso ɛkɔ so na mpuntu nso ɛfa ntoma pɛ efra ne nyɛ hwɛ anim sɛ Ghana mampanyi ɛbɛkasa wɔ dwumadie no asenti no na the Oxford Africa Conference ɛkɔ so no yɛhwɛ anim sɛ ɛnɛ Professor Jena na Opoku Agyeman kɔkɔ piase na ɔbɛkasa na afei yɛahwɛ kwan a bibire mu aman so yɛde nneɛma begu akwa mu ne nso so yɛ man atimi atu empɔn
Swedro Circuit Court etna ase na ebra asetena ne ekọ awieye no na kyese eyade a wo adi enipa miensa nsem se omanfo beke a bese na wotwinde ne nam social media ubon se wetwe sika no de asanfo grr no de asanfo grr omu dina monten so sika na no mu di akonsa no emma kyese ko wi ase kra sika ba ko di twa ba konsa ketwa ba ko emma etofo ma ensa ne wuye ha kyese kopiem wa ya sabe de social kra anyi sa video no ho asem na making so address Circuit Court etna so enum no se emrante kwa mensa monya ahoden ma kyese mu de mo fanye ahode mensa ena nse kan na fe de mudidi akon e wo monten so yi na nya bia munim se eto Ghana mra na se munim de ne mpanyifo atwoma dwene sisu se de omo ye no wo mo eto mra emrante mensa e George Ochi wadi mfinhia aduanan emensa Evans Adayale edi mfinhia aduo no ena Joseph Nyaba enso edi mfinhia aduo no ensia enti yedi wo masem ye de kwadu abobo wo mo se wo mo atwe akode ye sekan ede ko wo mo ato section 203 act 2960 no wo mo ato ena wo mo san ede emra eye section 69 act 2960 ashom nsem edi wo mo ho edem epreprom ho no ade a wo mato sa emra mienu nyina enti yedi wo masem no wo mo nyina no akobenkom so wo mo difo e wo kwadu a yede ebo wo mo no eho eno no temu afo ten adwam no se sa na tie dia na temu no enie Evans Adayale ani Joseph Nyaba wo mo edem afe no ma yadwuma den ede asom Ghana aban na George Ochi so de ya hye no ontua asotwe sika 500 penalty unit wo de Ghana sika mu a 6000 Ghana cedis owia onfa ne nsanhye emfie mensa bond ase se efiti na ekọ no suban pa e na obeda na di na suban boni a oda na di ni de enya de a obeda na di ebio enipa miensa nyina ye hwehwe om kratam na ye kọ mabakosem de bo a om ne se obia enkoda prison na se onye ne bonefo sem bia anti criminal record no na obia enibi eno kra ne boaye e ma otemu afọ na atemwo no ogumu kakra e de e ma wo men na wo kirema George Ochi e kire se oboni nkro kakra kire court no e na obeka sanye bia wo ne dan kyese ogina ne ba bi kura oye na de na ohun ya nse preko penipa mienu apie na o masisi Africa ma wo mo eba na o mo setete so oni enti eno na kofa sa entokwa nyina eba ya o mantumi anhye o mo so twense kan de konye edidi wo mo ho dem a enam so court abua mienu ese wo mo ko dem afe na oba ko nso ntua afso twense ka 6,000 Ghana cedis emfa MP3 we ayamane ba akwabena fowi ene de ba ebesomye
awusiafo sa wode wani kiremu awo University of Professional Studies e won kran ha wo mo de dwumadie bi ahyehye so a aye Ghana Business Conclave ne no na wo mo to ensa e de frɛ asante hene otumfo se tutu a woto so emienu na okopie mu awo dwumadie no ase ebra wo kasa no eno se Ghana ye kɔ 70 years ne mu ane sa o ebre aduruse ahoɔden a ya ne ye de hye amanyon semu no ye be dandan ani ade abiebie nnwuma ye ne satraye akodo atimi ede aba afi abrabopa ene ntetiye pa atimi abu oman no sede be ya oman ni fa ahudi a ye nya ne ye koye nim nyina ye nyini no oman no ebetimi atumpon na otumfo sei tutu otoso mienu eto aso se ye pese oman no atimi konkan na oman ni sikasem eja nna so de a na wase yetimi etutu ye niema yie eyen hwe se de ahohyeso ebeye adwuma nukredie ene nsakraye ebebe baabi a ye wo bia na se wadwuma betimi eja na so aniema mebubo so nyina no eno na ebetimi amana konkan se wuye no firi mu a adwuma bia wo beye bia no entimi enya na so nti yenhwe se yakoye mabunu no yenhwe se yebetwe ye ho edi Africa tasese dwirim ne proye kankan ne yede nukredie ne ahohyeso ebeye adwuma se de bia o man na ye wo mu no ebetimi akọ nanim
determines whether we are able to provide food for the table, shelter for families, clothes for children, education for our people, healthcare for our communities, and safety for our homes. By any measure, every Ghanaian will hope that our best years are still ahead, but we must be honest enough to admit that the past decades have been too dominated by politics and not always by politics of the kind that builds nations. Allegiance to party has too often been stronger than allegiance to the state. We have sung the praises of politicians that ignore those whose toil, innovation, and enterprise drive nations forward. So, after almost 70 years, the lesson is clear. We have had enough of talk. Ghana must now become a nation of builders. We must move from political rhetoric to building business.
Asante hene otumfo sei tutu a wotoso mienu ene yete nenka enu achi no University of Professional Studies wo mo chancellor Dr. Kofi Kodua Sapon so ekasaye edito business leaders enim se won hwe se nukredie no omde beye adwuma ba bi ombenam bia no wo mo ebehwe se wo mbetoto eniema yie se de be ya wo mo business ahodo no ebetimi akọ nanim.
Business leaders undertake negotiations, mediations, and uphold best governance practices towards ensuring the viability and survival of the entities they lead. Efficient delivery of these tasks hinges on integrity. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, nations are built on the integrity of their institutions, and institutions are sustained by the integrity of their leaders. In the business world, and there's no doubt about this, sustainable enterprises depend on principled leadership, which is a goal shared by all of us gathered in this business conclave. It is important, therefore, that we lead with integrity.
University of Professional Studies Chancellor Dr. Kofi Kodua Sapon ene yetenenka eno achi no sa wodu wani PM ewo GCB Bank PLC wo board chair Professor Joshua Alabin so se bank na ye krado se wo beboa amanwumasua agya naso ntiti wo no wo bebie won adwuma ena fe oman mpuntuo de bank na ye krado se wo mo ebeye emoa.
Supporting initiatives such as this is fully aligned with our mission as Ghana's leading indigenous bank. A bank committed not only to financial service, but also to education, innovation, entrepreneurship, and national transformation. It is the only bank that has 184 branches doing business across the length and breadth of this country. For over 7 decades, GCB Bank has remained a trusted partner to businesses, public institutions, SMEs, and the general public. With our wide national footprint, strong digital transformation agenda, and commitment to customer excellence, we continue to position ourselves as the bank that supports Ghanaian dreams and drives economic growth.
GCB Bank PLC Board Chairman Professor Joshua Alabi and Yetsenin Kan Yenua Sikayim and Ede Amani Ebesomiye.
Ghana Registered Nurses and Midwives Association Ediato National Health Insurance Authority anim se echa na ejo wo mo de ayaresabia kese ne ekadodo ne nyina NHIS dimu enti wo mo hwe so mbetumi atue ne nyina na ayaresabia ne enya sika ede adi wo mo ejuma GRN mpanyifo ekasaya na won first vice president na wo de ensemi atudwa Akoglo Samuel Akagora ono na kasei na all kase no wote se wako apro e wa yaresabia horo bi e wo memo wabehu se November 2025 ton na NHI for edede ka wontua ma yaresabia no enti ama adwuma no ayeden e de ama wo mo na opanyi chem wo so watwe chief executive officer how that NHI ano Dr. Victor Bampo adwene esiso amo nso atem sampa system no enema bi nkikansi su ya lock ni nyina ama ayeden so mbetua yaresabia horo no eka enso omo de omo na team form e hwe se ayaresabia bia wode wonka no de be fankrata kwan so na enhihye mapan ye adwuma no ahwe atumi atua wo mo eka.
I was shocked. One of the facilities that I engaged in said they had their last payment in November last. And what that means is it may not be only that facility. Other facilities may have similar problems. And as nurses, we cannot do our work if the managers are not giving sufficient funds to buy the medical consumables and other logistics that we need to. The chief executive of health insurance authority, Dr. Bampo, was in our office this morning and he explained some of the issues. Yes, he said it is possible that some facilities may have peculiar challenges, but the major challenge is the locking up of the limbs. There was a system that the facilities were used to assess and submit their claims.
Ebra odi ensemati se tu dwawie no wo chese ewom se Dr. Victor Bampo akade enso obekoso ade nani adi echi ahwe se de o maka se ombetuatua no animanim ya ombetua ama yaresabia no etumi atowo mo.
I will say that we are most grateful the health insurance chief executives has responded, and we are going to be monitoring the situation to make sure that what he has informed us is exactly what is going to happen. We have no doubt the speed at which he comes to see us indicates that he wants the system to work. When we are taking patients to the hospital, don't go and abandon them there. At least you be there to support them.
We a year first vice president Ghana Registered Nurses and Midwives Association Owura Akoglo Samuel ena Yetsenin Kan Esther Osualabi ena de Amaneboyi ebai.
University of Ghana Medical School Sawukopiemu awa panyipa wada Department of Medicine and Therapeutics Department wada omo ano Professor Vincent Boyman and wakasa no se kamia se Ghana for dodo no a emu ebeye 5 million ewo Ghana hasi a womanya kidney yare na wose wo de ba ohamu chichemu a eye du miensa achiripo miensa ya se na se wenu eye population no se wo de ba mu ase netie na no na kase ha adwen pa na titi de ha adwen ne se Ghana mabunu no a wo mo madi mfie no 50 to 20 to 50 no wo mo na sa yade no ha ompa wo mo nso na ko betimi anya hoden aye adwuma de abo oman no mo oman no atimi akonkan wo mo mom na wo mo yade be ye den krampo no matimi aye adwuma na anka sika wo se nka oman ni nya no ebe kwa koye bibie ho nti wo se animanim ya mpanyifo hwe na wo mo fa nhye engu akom se de be ya pomden ho nsem no ye betimi ahye mu kena se de be ya sa yade yebetimi abre ano ase.
About 13.3% of people have a kidney disease in Ghana. And if our population is around 35 million people, that means close to our 5 million people in Ghana may be living with chronic kidney disease. And this is worrying because it is affecting largely the very young people in our society, most of whom are between the ages of 20 and 50 years of age. And I believe these are the people who got to the out there in the community working to for Mother Ghana, working for their families. However, they are being held down now by chronic kidney disease.
eno achi obenfo Vincent esa to aso ebiom ese se wonya kidney yare ni bia okwan ahodo mienu na obetimi afa so anya wo nkwa se wonya obi na se oyi ni kidney ni baako de ma wo a eno so obetimi ahwe ama wanya nkwa na afen so obeda dialysis so na wose won de nko opani yiye mu dia ke wose nka obi mom ena oyi ni kidney wonya kidney ni baako a na achese ye de ahwe de ama kidney transplant no wose eno mom ye kra chen dialysis nti ye hwe se yebetimi aboa anya sika yebetimi aso sa ha wo no ano na dodo no a atimi anya kidney transplant ni ebi.
So kidney transplant compared to dialysis is better than dialysis because people tend to live longer. People have more satisfaction with kidney transplant. In the long term, it tends to be more cost effective because you pay once and the rest of your time you only pay for drugs. But for dialysis, you pay in the long term. So cumulatively, dialysis is more expensive than kidney transplant. And the quality of life is better. Convenience is better. So the people live much longer and better life compared to being on dialysis.
Ne kwakramu ena Professor Vincent esanso to asobiom ese wosra ban no se baby edu ni de wonfa emwamra se de be ya wono a wo kidney yare no won betimi aye transplant ni bi edi ama omo se de biara da omo da dialysis so no eno de emwa krant aban no empesika emebo omo.
The government, of course, people who have kidney failure still needs a kidney replacement therapy, which is either dialysis or transplant. And I believe transplant should be the best of these two. So they should focus their energy supporting people to get transplant and then taking these young people off the machine, rather integrating them back to society by giving them kidney transplant. Number two, the most important thing is really prevention, to prevent the kidney disease or diagnose it early to delay progression. So their primary preventive package that they have introduced is a timely thing. As more people will be diagnosed, more people will be detected early and treated well to prevent kidney disease or perhaps delay progression of kidney disease.
I was here for Penikasi Ayatin where Professor Vincent Boyman wono and our Department of Medicine and Therapeutics Department ya eno war University of Ghana Medical School. Yenya George Osei and Ediamani Ebesomi.
Yet wakasi no eso. Empanyifo wo aben. Na wo mu di wo mu juma e Canada akabom ayenhye mu die bi Global Economic Diversification Council wo mu na atwahia e Canada wo matoato adwen no na nhye mu die na se no na Alberta province baako a e Canada wo mu so afo a wo hwe enwuma sikasem ene adwadie na afa immigration ho nsem eso Honorable Joseph School na owase ebi eno no wo kasa wo gina na waka ne pintin say Alberta province a e Canada no o ma ye krado so mbeboa Ghana ama yenim die akonkan abefo kwan a ye fa so de computer dane niema ene artificial intelligence abai ye di robot ye nwuma kese ne nketua wo order ride e wa manone aman bi so na ebeba ka ya besi onipa ntim enso utumi di ko de ama wo kire so nko na bie ma wo na wotene ma ebe drive wakọ bebia wo kama na chesese de fidie ni AI no eye adwuma no efe na akono pa eno na Alberta province a e Canada se ombetumi aboa Ghana ama yenso yakoyanim saa e wo kwan a ebetumi afa so na di artificial intelligence edi dwuma na akonkan se oman wo se yakoba nsa yemfidi dwuma betumpon ama yeniema nyina agina ne nan so ama yempa se de enwuma bebe so nipa gum na ye boka ne ade ne nyina ebeba fom eto a yetuatua ma nyina ade a ne sha se eye adwuma yie e wo memo na ye kwadiri wo akonkan a ebetumi aboa yen eno na honorable school se Ghana yebetumi akoyanim saa de agise Alberta province a e Canada wo mokoso aboa yen e ma saa enisuade hunu etumi ebem wo kasa na wo chem se wo mo egina wo mo na so e wo AI mo no wo mo akonkan pa yie e wo Canada wo mo etumpon businesses akese ne nketo mu ekọ wiase kra na aboa amomanfo no ade wo mo ho enu nti no hunu se e yakwanya sonko se Alberta province nso beboa o my Ghana e wo saa kwan no eso wo chem na wo kasa saa dwumedia wura wo mo edi e wo AI kwan so e wo Alberta Canada nti no ama enema nyina ayemre e de ama wo mo no ni se waben e wo advert kwan ye fa so etumi agige o manfo adwen keka bom eboa e ma adwadie ni adwatondie ekoso no wakwadare wo mu pa saa dwumadie na so no mu di e wo Alberta enti o man no to ho nsenkaye ekoso businesses ejijane na so kama enti we nyina o ma ye krado so mbeboa o my Ghana ama yensu yetumi akonkan bi ekoba ne saa companies bebre na e na mu betumi atetre na etumi aboa ye
What is the position we occupy in the global economy? And what do we do well that allows us to be leaders in global economic diversification? And I would say the first thing that we do very well is we compete on price. We often talk about Alberta's competitive tax advantage. We have no provincial sales tax. We have no healthcare premiums. We have low corporate income tax, 2% on small business income tax, and the list goes on. And we continue to look for ways to compete on price to the point where maybe we don't bring enough revenue in as a province. However, we understand that competitive tax advantage is crucial to attracting talent and attracting businesses right here to Alberta.
Nenkasa yechi Dr. Hilda Franca Arthur, hey president and founder Global Economic Diversification Council Canada, honosu edisei etoso.
Yeshimu ewo Edmonton, Alberta in Canada. Global Economic Diversification Council. The Global Economic Diversification Summit. Wahane say yaka in Kofua omo very passionate about economic development. Ewo wiasi nina yaka boom. And your goal for the council is pese san Kofua omo wo wiasi afaneni nano. Omo edi omo nimdie ene dia omaya omo edi kan e won kofu bienim eba no mo be connect no mutimi church kwan a amanfo nina ebetimi akọ omanim economically.
Dr. Hilda Franca Arthur, president, founder, Global Economic Diversification Council Canada. Ono ena yetenen kei Jeff Insiabuadu ena ede amaniboi efi Edmonton. Ebaye kasieni nyina esi asida euma enko ema ye producers on duty Abdullahi Dasmani, Esther Ousua Labi ena Caleb Adey womo ena ebuaye ma yede ensem no ebremo na yeko social media nso a eye Peter Square ena de ekoye Patricia Sefafisha enso eboy nchidom akenkan for me Obahima Efiache mene
Mame akosia etonam
yedemu nyina se yamamubu enitie ema emuso a mafidie ena peace